Perhaps the most iconic dinosaur skeleton in the UK is on tour. Being one of the largest creatures to ever walk the Earth, hundreds of thousands of people have seen this Diplodocus skeleton on its tour so far. This is Dippy the Diplodocus. Dippy is the name given to the famous skeleton cast of a Diplodocus. The Diplodocus was a large, plant-eating dinosaur that lived during the Jurassic period. The cast became famous as it was displayed in the Natural History Museum for many years. Being a first impression for many visitors, it became a museum icon. However, after more than 110 years on display in the Natural History Museum, it was eventually replaced by a real skeleton of a blue whale. Despite the enormous size of the Diplodocus, Dippy isn't quite as big as the 25.2-metre-long blue whale skeleton named Hope. The blue whale is the largest animal to ever live, and the skeleton has been described as a symbol of humanity's power to shape a sustainable future. Dippy left the Natural History Museum on a natural history adventure, touring across the country. The skeleton cast made a visit to the Dorset County Museum, Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery and Ulster Museum. On January the 22nd, 2019, Dippy was installed in the Kelvingrove Art Gallery in Glasgow. But what kind of effect did Dippy have on the museum?
My name's Anne Ainsworth, I'm the Curator of Geology for Glasgow Museums. Dippy has been overwhelming actually. It's really created a big response to our visitors. We've had 257,000 visitors in the 6 weeks that Dippy's been here, which is 3 times more than we'd normally expect at this time of year. And that's more than any of the other venues have had throughout their duration of Dippy's visit to them. So it's astonishing.
The Diplodocus skeleton has proven to be a very popular attraction for the Kelvingrove Art Gallery. But what was the dinosaur like when it was alive?
Well, Dippy is a dinosaur from North America. It was found in Wyoming. It dates to 150 million years ago, which is the Upper Jurassic. It lived in an area which was fairly dry but would have had seasonal rainfall, and it would have been quite warm.
Eating leaves from trees and soft plants, the Natural History Museum states that the Diplodocus could reach 20,000 kilograms in weight.
There were a whole load of different creatures around at the same time as Dippy. This was a time where the big sauropod dinosaurs were quite dominant, so there would have been a lot of those around. But also there's a whole range of other animals, so other reptiles like lizards and turtles, the pterosaurs and crocodiles as well.
The Diplodocus also lived alongside many predators. Ceratosaurus, for example. According to the Natural History Museum, Ceratosaurus could reach 6 meters in length. However, there were larger carnivores in the late Jurassic.
There would have been predators around at the same time. So the most dominant predator at that time was Allosaurus. So this probably would be the animal that preyed on animals like Dippy.
The Natural History Museum states that Allosaurus could reach 12 meters in length. However, Diplodocus would not be defenseless against these carnivores.
So partly the reason why Dippy is so big is because of that trying to protect itself from predators. But also we think that the tail was very flexible, so it could have used this to help defend itself as well.
It goes without saying that Dippy is a very large skeleton. Installing it was no quick task.
Well, Dippy is around 24 metres long, although the actual specimen is a little bit shorter than that, because if you look at the back you can see that the tail is mounted so that it curves round. Dippy is made from 292 bones in total. It took the Natural History Museum team about 6 days to complete the installation of Dippy here. It was all done by a Natural History Museum conservation team.
Other venues on Dippy's tour include the Great North Museum, Hancock in Newcastle, the National Museum, Cardiff, No. 1 Riverside in Rochdale, and finally Norwich Cathedral. After the tour, there are plans for Dippy to return to the Natural History Museum, where it will be recast in bronze and reinstalled in the museum gardens.